Well, it's been a month since the Las Vegas shootings took place, and it seems as though there are more questions now than there were at first. Back in October at the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, a tragic shooting took place. I don't know that we really need to recap everything, but I kind of have some questions that I would like to have answered. So let's recap here just a little bit, okay?
Okay.
The alleged shooter was a tax accountant that was never seen shooting any gun of any type. If he were practicing, someone would have noticed that he was firing these weapons with a bump stock.
Right. Now, his brother has said, though, that he was an avid gun owner and shooter. I've been to the range several times in the last couple months. Nobody probably knows that I was there either. You can go to a gun range fairly anonymously.
All right. There is allegedly recorded audio that there were two different shooters 650 yards away and 250 yards away. However, the FBI won't comment on these facts.
So having just come from Las Vegas and drove right past the Mandalay Bay, I can tell you that the way all the tall buildings are there, it would echo like no other. Honestly, it would probably seem like there's more than two. You definitely would get a very strong secondary report every time a round is fired off.
I have to say, I am not a gun expert. I do not claim to be. I have heard the video of the gunfire, and to me, it does not sound like anything other than a machine gun. Have you heard that video, or am I wrong?
I've heard the video, and to me, it just sounds like a single weapon being fired, although rapidly, with small breaks in between for reloading or switching guns, whatever he was doing. It could be a completely different sensation down at ground zero there. So I wouldn't discount that somebody heard maybe what they thought was a second gunman. It just wasn't.
Okay. Allegedly smuggled in 23 long rifles and over 100 pounds of ammo into a casino with more security cameras than the White House.
But he stayed there for a while. He wasn't just there for, a day or two. He was there, I think they said 4 days. If the guns are in a case, nobody's going to care if you take one or two up to your room. They have lots of gun shows in Las Vegas and in Nevada. Would not be uncommon for somebody to take a rifle in a case up to their room. And if they're doing it 6 or 8 or 10 times, I don't think anybody would be the wiser.
Let's talk about the security guard, Jesus Campos. Almost immediately after this massacre took place, he crossed the Mexican border, was unavailable to anyone, and stayed that way when he learned the FBI wanted to speak with him about what he saw. Now, hold on. This is a guy that got shot in the leg by, apparently, from a rifle.
Right.
Yet, he was able to drive a rental car to and from Mexico back to Las Vegas after he's been shot. And it was only a couple of days afterwards. And he alleges that he was there on a family trip.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. If you get shot in the leg, it's painful.
Yeah.
You're going to want to seek some medical attention. Mm-hmm. They don't have the greatest medical attention in Mexico. He would probably seek out medical attention here. I can't think of a single person that I've ever known that's been shot, and I know some people who have been shot that said, you know what, I'm going to go to Mexico for whatever reason. Maybe people are trying to insinuate that he's an illegal and that he didn't want to talk to the FBI because he's afraid they're going to deport him. When in reality, he is somewhat of a hero in this thing. I think he's stuck around, and I don't know.
I'm not buying this. He shows up on Ellen, for God's sakes. Really? So, Jesus, you were at one of the worst massacres, and you were shot in the leg. Do you like cookies?
Yeah, that part.
Really?
Was, yeah.
Softball questions.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Again, I'm not buying this. The shooting began as soon as the audience lights were turned on during the performance, which I'm assuming they're insinuating that it was easier for him to see bodies moving around with the lights on.
I would think that when, what was his name?
Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean. I would imagine that when he took the stage, typically they kill the lights in the audience, don't they? So I don't think that part is correct.
He has a lot of pyrotechniques, by the way.
Yes. You wouldn't really need to see individual targets. You're shooting into a mass of people. You could do it blindfolded.
Okay. How about this? The guy apparently killed himself this way. All right? Yet he fell in such a way that one of the rifles on a bipod was laying across his leg. He would have literally fallen on top of it. It would not have fallen on him. Does that make sense to you?
I see what you're saying.
And there weren't enough shells in the room.
Oh, for as many? Well, I don't know that. I haven't seen any of the details about that.
Let me give you this statistic. I know I told you there wasn't going to be math on our show, but here's a little bit. Try to follow me. The shooting time, 10 minutes. Casualties, 600. Casualty rate, 60 minutes. This means a single shooter had to be hitting one person every second for the entire 10 minutes. With changing mags in semi-automatic, 30-round mags, a trained operator might get, say, 240 rounds off per minute. In reality, actually closer to about 160 to 180 per minute. And of note, you do this to a civilian version of an AR, it will fail because of the heat and the metal fatigue. So what we're suggesting is one person was able to kill 60 people in a minute. Now, if you were a sniper in the armed forces and you had that kind of ability, you would be a hero.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to throw out there. Not everybody that died was hit by a bullet. When one of these rounds hits blacktop or asphalt, it throws up enough shrapnel to also injure and or kill you. A single bullet also can take out more than one target. And the way he was shooting into the crowd, it's very likely that one bullet could hit one or two or three people. These bullets have unbelievable penetration. Plus it's Las Vegas, so everybody's just wearing t-shirts. It's not warm. It's very warm there. A through and through hit would not be unheard of. And a through and through, through and through, and through and through into a third person, not crazy. Every single shot, he could literally take out 2 to 3 people.
Okay, so last but not least, they found a computer in his room. They believe that he was watching the video cameras that he had installed through this computer. Yet, when they come across the computer in his room, they confiscate it, they take it in as evidence, and when they further investigate the computer, they find there's no hard drive. So, where did it go? And while the FBI was surrounding his house, it got broken into somehow.
That might be fake news, because I know the FBI went in, they found that the house was in a state of booby trap. And when they found that, they actually took the garage door off of the hinges to make entry into the house. That may
I never
or
heard
may
that.
not. Yeah, that may or may not be correct. I've seen a picture with the garage door off and like broken up. And they did find explosives, other explosives in the home. He had numerous weapons. I mean, anytime there's an event like this, you'd like to be able to dot every I and cross every T and make it all tidy. It'll never be tidy because the guy was absolutely, he was insane. No sane person does what he did. There are going to be questions that we'll probably never have answers for.
We still have questions, and we may never get the answers. Look at the JFK assassination 50 years later.
Yep.
We still don't know. I mean, there's no definite news, and it's mostly still all hearsay.
Yep.
So, I don't know if we'll ever get the answer to these questions in our lifetime. But
even though they just released a lot of the JFK files, they're not going to release them all.
No. Trump's holding some back. It's just interesting. All right, so that'll wrap up another edition of Men Are So Smart. We hope you've enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button. We like to get a bunch of likes on these episodes. And also, you'll be able to subscribe to our channel in just a moment when it drops down. It's a yellow button that says Men Are So Smart. You click on that and you can subscribe. Something new, we also have best of shows that we're running on Saturdays and Sundays now, so you can catch Men Are So Smart 7 days a week. Thanks to you, we make this work. All right, I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
And we'll see you next time on Men Are So Smart.